Hi Rifters, and welcome to another tutorial for Torque3D for Rift. Okay, so in this one what we're going to have a look at is we're going to have a quick look at triggers, but mostly the teleport system that's built into this game engine. So let's go to World Editor and go to the previous level that we've created. So as you'll see, we've still got that previous level. So what we're going to do is we're just going to find a spot to add a teleport. So let's just get up here. Okay. Okay, so what we can do is we can actually add a teleport into this system. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're in the object editor and go to library. If we go to level and we go to level again, you'll see there's a thing called trigger. So now with trigger, basically you'll have to set up a trigger to do something in your script. So that would be under when you're under your main game file folder, you've got all your stuff there. So you would go to scripts and then server. So you'd have to create the script that you need, and then what you do is you'd add it to your script executable script as well to say, okay, add this into the system as well. So when you create it, you've got it would show up here. So I haven't added any yet, and I'll show you scripting that kind of stuff a little bit later. But for now, we're going to use the teleport trigger that's there by default. So let's call it tel1 for teleporting. And you've got this little cube here. Now, obviously, you can't actually see that cube in the game. It's obviously, we can see it when we're editing it. So what we're going to do is just modify that, make it a bit good. Now, under the, we'll go to scene, and you'll see we've named it tel1. It's got the trigger. Now, you can actually enter commands and leave commands as soon as you like walk through, enter, leave there, etc. You can change the data block to whatever you want. So that's all handy. Now when it comes to, because we're using the actual teleport trigger, you'll see it's got some dynamic fields. So you'll see entrance effect, that's actually the particles, you know, the effect that's going to be when you go through the portal. And you know, exit is the name of the teleporter exit, and the entrance effects is the same thing, you know, what effect you're going to have when you exit and you enter as well. So where it says exit, it says name of teleporter exit. So let's call that tel2. Now you gotta be careful. See how it's done tel2 or lowercase, and this is tel1 uppercase. It is actually very important you make sure you know exactly which one it is, because if you had something named tel2 without a capital, then it's going to use that. So it's very specific on, you know, what it's using. So we'll make sure all the teleports are named the same thing. So that's the teleport up and running. All we're going to do is just basically create another teleport to say where we're going to go from there. So if we go down here, and let's say we're just going to create a teleport on the ground here. Now, obviously, you would have to add a model into your game system to show it is a teleport there, and Torque does have like a basic model for your teleport. So if we go to Library, and under Meshes, Art, Shapes, and let's see, I know it's in here somewhere, things on Items, nope, Teleporter, sorry, didn't see that. So click that, we add it into the game. So there you go, you can see it's actually in the game. So let's move back and put that on the ground. Okay, so that's just a model that's automatically playing its thing. You could obviously set up a script where the model isn't going to do anything at the moment. And you know, it won't play any of this animation, and then you can actually have it play the animation. So you know, you've just turned the portal on, etc. So you can use the teleporter. So we've got that there, so we're going to go back to level, trigger. So remember, call it tel2, capital T, and we select the teleport trigger. Create new, and there we've got our teleport trigger. So we're going to put that on top of that, make sure it's all correct. Excellent. Okay, now, because we're using teleport trigger, what we're going to do is we're going to haven't done a capital T. So yeah, always got to remember that. Then we're going to go down, and we're going to name the exit as tel1. Now it doesn't seem to be saving it when I do tel2. Okay, so there we go. So this is our tel1 here, and we've got a saying tel2. So obviously it looks like it doesn't matter if it's capital or lowercase. It seems to be working there. I'm pretty sure I had issues before, but so that's fine. So what we've got is here, we've got that, and see, because we've got tel2 here, if we actually didn't name an exit at all, then that means if we walk through it, nothing would happen. So we've added it as tel1, so this is a two-way teleporter. So if we go through, we're back down on the ground, and it goes through as well. So now you're obviously hearing this sound, with this teleport trigger. So in the actual script, it's got the sound set up to use the awk sound, it hurts. So that's why you hear, oh, it hurts. So you'd have to modify that script if you either want it to be removed or you want to add it on. And if we go through, we'll just go through again a few times, you should see the teleporter effect. So you'll see there's a bit of effect there when you go in. Yeah. Now, obviously, it all depends on where you've got this. So obviously, we could move that wherever we wanted. So say we want to move it, maybe move it. Oop, moved into myself. And oh, there you go. So if we go in there, we'll actually see the teleport animation. See? So we've got it up there. So we can move it anywhere. And let's just move it here. So as I said before, if we just remove the exit, we can just add a 0 there, that's fine. So if we go through teleport, we see that's there. And now if we go into that, it obviously doesn't tell us anyway, so that's a one-way teleporter now. So it is quite handy, you don't obviously have to use that. For the VR Game Jam, what I did was I used that to actually walk on walls. Obviously I didn't have enough time to modify the game engine to allow gravity. So what I did was I basically used the sketch tool and created a square room. And what I did was I basically turned the room 90 degrees one way, 90 degrees the other way. So we had 6 rooms exactly the same, but they were turned different ways. And basically what happened was as soon as you hit the wall, I used a teleporter, and that transported me into the next cube that actually had the world rotated 90 degrees. So it looked like you're walking on the wall when actually it's just, the walls may have been turned to make sure that's the ground now. So, you can obviously make any kind of effect you want. But it's very handy, and obviously you can use triggers for anything else. Like before I mentioned, you can have a trigger at the doorway, so sound plays when you go into the doorway, and you can just, you can use triggers for anything, to run any type of stuff. Like I had it for going to a new level. So as soon as you went to the trigger, it would actually load up a new actual level. So, obviously you can do whatever you want with triggers. You just have to make sure you create the scripts and make sure they're in the script executable to make sure it can be added on to your list of data blocks here. So that's a basic quick tutorial on a little bit on the teleporting and a little bit on the triggers. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope to see some games coming out of this, or even some little demos coming out of Torque. I really hope you guys like it, and I really hope to see more people start using it. See you guys later.